The next step was to model out their retirement income plan and show the withdrawals coming from their investment accounts first over the next 5 years. So rather than we did a scenario where we said, okay, let's not start Social Security. Let's use the investment accounts first to supplement the income we need and take the trips and do all the things we need. And let's let this benefit grow to the full retirement age benefit. Now let's move on to what does it look like at different ages and how does that change things? Now there's two rules to note here. Number one, the spouse who is taking the spousal benefit cannot start their benefit until the higher earner starts theirs. Number two is the one that's taking the spousal benefit, it's based on their own age, not the age of their spouse. So pretend Linda is 67 and that's her full retirement age here. And John was 62. And he decided he's going to start his benefit at age 62. Same numbers that we were using before. He's going to be taking $2,100 per month. And now if Linda, who is already age 67, if she filed for a spousal benefit, she'd receive half of John's full retirement age benefit. So in this case, she'd be receiving $1,500 per month. So even though he's not waiting until full retirement age, he's starting his early, it doesn't negatively impact the higher income earner here. So she still gets half of what his full retirement age is, his benefit, even though he started his early. I've got a few more age variations to go over where next John's going to be older. And then I'll share when it makes sense to start Social Security as soon as possible. And then how it changes if you're divorced. But let's take a look now at John and where John is older, where he's 67 and Linda is 62. So John's 67, he starts his full retirement benefit of $3,000 because he's full retirement age, and Linda is 62. So if she starts now, she's only going to be getting 35% of John's full retirement age benefit because she's starting it early, which was that $1,050. And it's important to note that each year she waits, the benefit's going to go up until she gets to that full 50% of John's $3,000 benefit. So if she waited, then she'd get that $1,500 per month. Now, what happens if they were the same age, but they waited until 70? So way past their full retirement benefit, waited until 70, because each year they wait, the benefit for John goes up 8%. So him waiting gets him to age 70, which is $3,720. And then if Linda waits until 70, or she's the same age as well, and she starts, she's not getting half of that age 70. She's still getting the $1,500, half of his full retirement age benefit. So that's a lot of information, a lot of variations here, different things. Hopefully one of those fit with what you and your spouse are, what your ages are. I hope that was helpful, but there's more, because also if that didn't click 100%, rewind and then watch again, slow-mo and see if you can figure that out. But if you're doing good so far, let's look at why it might make sense to start Social Security as early as possible. So not wait until 67 or your full retirement age, but start it at 62. Number one is health concerns, right? If John had a health condition that meant he's unsure if he's going to live into his 80s, or there's a familial thing that's common with his family, if he doesn't think he's going to live past his mid 70s or early 80s, delaying till 67 or 70 would not allow him to really fully benefit from getting the larger monthly payments, right? There's a break-even point. A lot of times it's mid 80s. So maybe it makes sense to start early and use the money now. Number two is if John and Linda had zero other options for income, right? If they didn't have their savings, or if they just had small amounts of investments and savings, sometimes you have to start at 62. It's actually very common for people in America to start at 62 because it's, makes sense to use Social Security versus going into credit card debt or something like that. And then number three is the break even. It's just maximizing lifetime benefits, really due to those health concerns. And here's what I mean. If John claims at 62, he'll receive $2,100 per month for over the next 12 years, assuming he lives till 74. So that's $302,400. Now, if John waits till 67, he's going to receive $3,000 per month starting at 67, but only over seven years. So that's if he lives till 74. So he'd receive a total of 252,000. That's it, 252,000. So there's a big difference there. 302 versus 252 if your lifetime's shorter. So it's just calculating those max. What's the max benefit based on certain how long you think you're going to live? For John, in that case, it's about $50,000 over his lifetime, and it's that would be an easier decision. Again, you never know. You're making a best educated guess. For a lot of us, we're healthy. We're planning on living past mid 70s into 80s. So if you've got the freedom to and the option, a lot of times it makes sense to wait until full retirement age. But talk to your planner about that. One question, though, I get often is, what about that file and suspend thing that they used to do? We actually used to do this a lot before 2016, I think, is when they ended it. It's, can she start hers now? Linda started now, and then take half of his later. So what if Linda, what if they were 62? What if she started taking her own benefit now, not half of John's, and wait until 67 and then take a higher amount, which is half of John's? That doesn't work anymore. They closed that loophole, or whatever you want to call it. That's no longer available. Now let's look at the main point number 3, which is the difference between married and divorced claims. And a lot of people don't realize the spousal rules do change whether you're married or whether you were divorced before. I've seen divorce clients, they leave thousands of dollars on the table because they didn't know they could actually claim on their ex-spouse's benefit. One of my clients, we'll call her Susan, she came to me thinking that Social Security wasn't going to be big for her because she didn't have a job for most of her adult life, because she was helping raise the kids and doing everything at home.